So today we are going to be doing a makeup rush job, okay? This is for the moments when you just was not ready and you haven't even washed the other makeup off. It's ways around that, my honeys, and we're going to get right into it. I want to start by removing the old makeup on the lid, okay? So this is a facial cleanse and also a makeup remover. You only need a little tad, my honeys. That stuff works wonders. It gets it off so good. And especially when you're dealing with that tricky black eyeliner. Look, it just removes it so perfectly. So we're cleansing face and also removing that makeup. I'm not really going up to the brow because I don't want to have to redo the whole demonstration because we know it takes time to get everything perfected. So I'm just going to it's already outlined from the last time, and I'm going to kind of keep that there. And I'm going with this e.l.f. brush, okay? It is very precise. And I love that little spoolie that it has. It lets me get in them hairs and distribute that brow pencil all through it. So I definitely like this way that I do it now. I lift all them hairs out my way so I can see my natural lining, and then I go ahead and draw it in. And then when it's all said and done, I'll comb it through with the spoolie and just see if any areas need to be filled in. And that has been working. I have been almost able to get my eyebrows to match doing it this way. So that's what we'll be focusing on, is just trying to get them to at least match. When I'm outlining the top of my brow, I'm still moving them hairs down and out the way as well. But I don't like to start from the beginning of the top brow because I want it to be more of a faded effect looking. So I kind of just start behind it, okay, and then I just proceed to fill everything in and outline. So the LA Girl Pro in Toffee is what I like to use. I also use Arm in my Hunnys. So this is how I just outline the brow to make it stand out, okay? And I put on the back of my hand. I distribute it all through that brush, you know, a nice flat brush. Put it on the front and the back because you're going to be flipping it as you do. You don't want your brush to run dry and then it'll mess up lines. So you just want to be prepared with that. And the other end of the brush, there's like a fluffy type of brush, which I fell in love with because it's 2 for 1, which helps me to pat it into the skin, you know, get it all through any little wrinkles or however. That way you could have like a nice seamless concealer on your eye. Now, as I am pushing that concealer into my lid, I'm like patting it and pushing it. I'm not swiping the brush across it because you're just rubbing it away. And then you will be probably just pushing it more deep into that brush. So you don't want to remove any of it. You really just want to pat it through and just help it dry. And that gives you a nice base to work with. But also for my top brow, guys, I use my Cappuccino Bare Minerals. And I go along that top part of my brow. So another good way that I've, you know, wanted straight lines was that spoolie. Getting them hairs out my way, actually seeing where I am laying this stuff because my eyebrows are long and they be in the way. So it's not frustrating, but it does not help me to get them to match, okay? I'm going back and forth between eyebrows trying to make sure they match when all I had to ever do is just move these hairs out the way or at least cut them. But y'all know I don't cut my brows and I barely arch them because I'm going to draw them. So I just deal with what I got. And I use my color concealer on the top. And then I use the 2 shades lighter on the bottom of the brow to give it that highlight. And then I blend all of that through. And then I don't even know if that's my color at the top, but it's close enough. It'd be hard to try to find your color, but pretty much go to like MAC or one of them and let them find your color and tell you what it is. Because you'll be standing all day trying to really focus on matching it to your hand. Your hand may not be the same as your face and all type of stuff. But my BB camera ready, Smashbox. This is an eyeshadow primer. I love it, or whatever. I put it straight to the source. I don't put it on my hand because I don't want to waste the product. I just want it there. Then I pat it through with the same brush that I patted that highlight through, that other concealer. And I just mix the two basically, because once I go put that shadow on there, OMG, it picks it up so well. It makes it more intense, okay? It's easier to build it up. You don't have to do as many dips into the palette with this particular eyeshadow base. There's probably plenty more out there, my honeys. Y'all know this is what I have, and I use it every video with hopefully to get rid of it, okay? So once everything is all said and done, you would definitely go in with the sponge. Now, the sponge just helps to push it even deeper into them creases and just make everything mesh together and blend perfectly. So when you go putting them shadows on there, nothing will be cakey. It will be smooth. We're going to use this Anastasia Renaissance palette. It's kind of like a nudie palette, okay? I'm going to use that fluffy brush to distribute the first shade onto the lid. Basically, this is a transition shade. Basically, this is a shade that kind of matches the lid already to just help it not to crease. So you could say that I'm setting it, okay? I am setting those little cream bases so that therefore later down the line they won't crease on me. And when I close my eye, you could just see art, okay? And not all these creases in there like you have been crying or something. So that color, it didn't really show up as anything, which was okay because it's going to help with the next color putting on top of it. So it's kind of like building, okay? This is a dense, small, like blending brush too. It's very dense. It picks that color up, my honeys, and it lands it, okay? So that's the whole key to makeup is your brushes. All right, I don't even need to tell you guys what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. If you go get you some good brushes, they don't have to be all extra expensive or anything. You just need multiples, okay? So you can be able to do what you want to do with your looks, you know. And then when you start playing with them and seeing, oh, this put more shadow on there. Oh, this did that. This blends it well. Then you will be able to kind of play with your looks more because your brushes is on point. Okay, so that's really all that matters is the brushes. So I went back in with the brush from before and just kind of was blending those edges through. I don't want them all liney and harshy, but my brushes did the job. You know, I don't have to do as much blending. So that's like a flat brush for the eyeshadow. On the lid, my honeys, I really just wanted like a nice cream color to bring it out. It's like I want to call this like a peekaboo shadow look, okay? It's like a little peekaboo. The color around it for me was supposed to be like maybe an orangey. And then I was going to go in with this cream and just kind of let it peekaboo and shine through above the eyeliner, okay? And it came out perfect, just like I imagined it. But you do have to go back and forth with your brushes to blend out those edges. And my honeys, that is my Sephora liner pencil or whatever. It has a precise point. And I am starting from the inner tear duct because I do want a dramatic liner today. I really want to make it wide. So I would be drawing it and I'll look at it and see if it's high enough and make it higher if need be. But I'm not going to take it too high at the edge because I don't want to, you know, go above my hooded eye or whatever. So and then I'll just fill it all in when I get back there with the point. I fill it in with my e.l.f. Very, very black. Okay, it dries matte. So it comes on shiny when it's wet, and then as it dries, it becomes real dull. So that's what I pretty much fill it in with, so that I don't have to go in with that pencil and do all of that. But it just helps that it's quicker. Lay that lash exactly on top of my lash in position to and exactly where I want it. And then I kind of squint my eye and push it in so that I know it's secure. So I go through the whole strip and just push it in just to make sure that it is down and not lifting in the corners. And then when it's on there, you know, maybe stuck to the bottom, all that pushing. So you just kind of pull your bottom lash down. I'm going to put some Shine My Hunnies right below my brow. So on that brow bone, just to make it pop. Makeup remover water, okay? It cleanses your face and everything. So I'm just going through because we're going to do a little foundation today. So I'm just getting all the little surface cleared. Anything on there can be removed. So this Avena eye cream, my honeys, is goodness. It's absolutely ageless. So I usually will put that on because they say that it could be used as a makeup primer as well. So then I'll put the Huda Beauty on top of that, because the first thing that touches your skin is what will really be absorbed. So the goodness will go in first and serve its purpose, and then the Huda will definitely be good for the makeup, just to help it pop as a makeup primer as well. I am using my Bare Minerals in Cappuccino shade 27. I put it on the back of my hand, and then I took a flat foundation brush, and I'm really focusing on those eyes and the whole eye area, because that's what I'm trying to cover up, okay? So it's like you use makeup to cover up your flaws, and you put it on certain spots and this and that, but it's kind of overdone when you just sit there and do a whole full face of makeup or whatever. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but you know, I sometimes let some of my flaws stand out, okay? And once I get it all in the area that I want it, I just push it in with that sponge. It's like that sponge does something and gives it an extra oomph, okay, to the complete look or whatever, without it looking cakey and fake, okay? You want it to look just like your skin. So that is the Creaseless Concealer by Tarte. It is very thick, my honeys, and it's like a full coverage type of foundation. So when you want to really cover up them bags and all of that, nothing will really shine through that. You could have a pimple somewhere and have used thick foundation, and that pimple will not even shine through. So I do like the fact that it is thick, and once I get it all on the same way I did the foundation, I'm just focusing on the areas, and then I squint my eye, my honeys, just so I can really get into all those wrinkles and creases underneath my eye. And then I go in with that sponge. So after everything is said and done, I want to set that, so therefore I can assure that it won't crease. And I just use that loose powder by CoverGirl, but that sponge, like I said, it makes everything just so seamlessly flat, like you don't even have on foundation. When I go off into putting shades underneath my eye, I like to squint my eye, my honeys. Squinting it just helps your bottom of your eye hug your eyeball, okay? So it kind of just helps to take out any dents and lines and wrinkles, and just makes it like, you know, a clear surface. So therefore you could put your foundation on right, do some under eye makeup, but pretty much the whole part that hugs my eyeball is where I will want to put that makeup, and then kind of blend it out so that it's not just there harshy liney. And then I'll go in with the liner just to make it pop a little bit. And then I will also blend that through and connect it to that back wing, you know, just to make everything come together. This is my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour stick. So basically it's a foundation stick that's super dark. Okay, I got it shades darker. I'm using a really dense brush to kind of distribute that through and make sure that there is nothing left and nothing, it's just seamless, just melting with my highlight, my foundation. And you want to use a dense brush for that to help kind of move it around. That is a small, dense brush to get off in those little areas that a bigger brush couldn't fit in. So that's why I say my honey's brushes really matter. It doesn't even matter what look you're going for. I bet you your look will be way easier to accomplish if you had all the proper brushes. And then it's not even like there's a rule like, okay, this brush is for that, this brush is for that. It is a science to it, but if you got what you got on hand, honey, you have to do what you have to do. So I personally found out that the brushes for me helps me to complete any look, okay? And I definitely went and make sure I pick up the small ones. I love the small ones, those the ones that gets the details. And then you see I'm using this sponge to kind of even blend out that contour. So there's a right way to do everything, but also, like I said, if you have to do what you have to do, then you have to do what you have to do. Bless you, Mia. So yeah, the sponge came in handy, especially when you want to get out the defined line of the contour. If it's stubborn, you just pat over it with that sponge. Just keep patting it. It'll blend itself. It'll just blend itself. So I'm using the back of that sponge that has a flat surface, and then I'm dipping it into the powder. I want to define, you know, the cheekbone area. So, you know, you have to make sure that both sides match, okay? Don't have one side too high, one side too low. So I'm just kind of making sure I keep an eye out for that. And then when it's all said and done, I'll use this big old fluffy brush and just get it all off. I didn't like bake or let it sit for any time. I just basically put it there and wiped it all right away. And it gave me the definition that I was looking for. So then I goes in with my shine, which I usually hit it on the cheekbones right below my eye, and then my nose, up my nose, and then my tip of my nose, and maybe a little bit on the chin, and then above my lip. So that's blush, okay? If I don't put any foundation on my face, my honeys, I always go in with my shine and my blush. I do that regardless of the fact, because it's going to bring, my eyes is already standing out because I definitely do my eyes. But if I just do the eyes and then just throw a little shine on the nose, on the cheeks, and then some blush, I'll be like, wait, cool. And then my lips, you know, I make sure I outline them with some brown and put whatever color I'm putting on them, honey. And that just be bringing everything out. So when you want to define your lips, okay, and kind of like draw them, then you would just make sure you start with like a blank surface, okay? And then you just outline your lips. You can go over, you can go under. You know, that is my brow pencil for real. But since I don't have anything else to use for my lips, I'm using that brow pencil. And then this is like a matte nude, so it's that pinky nude, okay? I told y'all I really would like to have that brownie nude, but it kind of brought the eyes out, so it was okay. I like how this lipstick, it definitely is matte. It's not like it comes on wet and then dries matte. It just comes on matte, period. And then you just blend. Thank you, my honey, so much for rocking with me. You guys are the real MVPs. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up and a comment, okay? I hope my honeys are being safe, staying home, okay? Not trying to contract any extras that this world is out here trying to give us. And also, my honeys, I know I need to do a little bit more, okay? Since we are just stuck in the house quarantining, but that's the point of the video. I will see my honeys on the next one. Bye, guys. Love you guys.